Intro. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first voiceover session for 2019. The first video you see up here is from Monday's session, which was chest and abs. I started off with the flat dumbbell press, working very lightly at the start, taking the 20 kilos, seeing how the body was feeling. This was at about 6 a.m. in the morning. So obviously I'm a little bit stiff in the morning, as I'm sure most of you guys are, so I try to go a little bit lighter. But with my first working set, I'll start with 20 kilos, moving up to 25 and then 27.5 and finishing on 30 kilos, which is what you see here, and progressively moving down in my rep range, going 12, 10, 8 every time. I'll do this for most of my sets as I'm trying to build a bit of muscle throughout this bulking season. I'm trying to stay as lean as possible this year as well without going overboard. Keeping my calories quite low, about 2,700. After the flat dumbbell press, we move straight into a bench press. Again, we do a quick warm-up set to start off with, basically just focusing on the mind-muscle connection and trying to activate the pectorals as much as possible. I start with 60 kilos, obviously start with whatever weight is comfortable for you. 60 kilos is usually my go-to warm-up weight. For this day, I wasn't feeling too confident, too strong, and I'm still getting back into it for 2019. This is only my 4th week back for 2019. As you can see here, going back to that flat bench press, we're doing 70 kgs here for 8 reps, 3 sets, and really trying to make sure we touch that chest every single time. And with this, we superset it straight away, straight into working dumbbell flies. 10 kilos is about my maximum at the moment, otherwise it starts to hurt my shoulders. For you guys, it's probably about the same too. Obviously work up to the maximum that you can, but stay as safe as you can. As soon as you finish your bench press, move straight into the dumbbell flies. 10 kilos, 10 reps, 3 sets. Very easy, but it is very fatiguing and it will start to rip open your pec muscles. Moving on to the final chest workout for the day is basically a dumbbell incline press at 22.5 kilos. 22.5 kilos isn't a lot at this point in time, but as you can see on my face, I'm struggling already. My muscles are quite fatigued and I can't push any more than I just did. So that was 3 sets, again 12, 8, 10 reps. And then we moved into hanging leg raises. So the reason I do chest and abs in the same day is because hanging leg raises actually allows me to stretch out my pec muscles and it doesn't hurt as much for me the next day. So I'll always try to do hanging leg raises as soon as I can after I finish my workout. Hanging leg raises, 10 reps, 3 sets. If you can do 10 reps, I know I couldn't for a very long time. I started with about 5 to 6. And then I quickly move on to calves at a 50 kilo, 12 reps, 3 sets. I work calves 2 to 3 times a week usually because I see it as my weak point in my physique. Supersetting with a bench crunch. What I try to do is focus on something on the ceiling. As you can see, I'm not doing it here, which I really need to focus on a bit more. Back workout's a bit more intense. I had a little bit more energy, so we started a bit heavier straight away. Lat pull downs was the first workout, 35 kilos was the warm-up, 50 kilos was the working set, 12 reps, 3 sets. After the lat pull downs, we moved straight into the low rows. So with the low rows, it's important to make sure the chest touches the padding as closely as possible. Take your time to set it up. Everybody has it differently depending on your height, depending on your weight, depending on how long your arms are. So make sure you just set it up for best for you. With the low rows, you want to try getting as close as possible and whilst controlling those reps, making sure your chest doesn't come off the pad at any time. Looking at my form here, it is a little bit too quick. I need to slow it down, control it a little bit more. But that's one of the benefits of recording your workout. You can really pinpoint where you're going wrong. But as you can see, with the low rows, you want to squeeze at the top. Squeezing at the top will allow you to really help you work those lats, traps, and delts. So after the low rows, I move straight into sumo deadlifts. Personally, I prefer sumo deadlifts over regular deadlifts because I am quite tall, just a little bit under 6 foot, which means I have quite a high center of gravity. With the sumo deadlift, you'll find that you can lift it a lot easier without arching your back too much. My form still isn't perfect, obviously, but like everybody else, I'm working on it. Make sure you're doing it safely. Deadlift is one of the most dangerous lifts you can do in the gym. One of the final back exercises is the seated V-bar row. So at my gym, we don't actually have a machine for this one, so we just kind of have to use the cables and sit on the floor. After the back workout, we just jump straight into biceps. Biceps is a secondary workout really in this gym session. We start with 15 kilos, 10 reps, 3 sets of standard bicep curls, and then we superset that straight away with 15 kilos till failure hammer curls. I'll do 3 sets of that previous one and then move straight into what I call rack run bicep curls. Basically, you're going to start at the very end of the dumbbell rack and curl until failure, and then you're slowly going to move up in the weights. I'll speed it up because I do quite a few here. But I did in between 5 and 12 reps of everything from 10 kilos all the way up to 20. And by the end of it, you're pretty fatigued and you're ready to go home. I wanted to throw in quick yoga in here for all of you guys just to see what we do on Wednesdays. Wednesday morning is yoga with my partner, just following another YouTuber online. Yoga with Adriana, I believe, is the channel. We've been doing it for a while now. It just really helps with all the stretching and getting the lactic acid out of your muscles. And because I do back on Tuesdays and legs on Thursdays, that day in between really needs to be focused on stretching and making sure I can get back into the gym as quickly as possible. So Wednesday for us is a great recovery day, and I do encourage all of you to try yoga when you can and when you get the chance. That's it for the first gym tutorial, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it all the way through to the end. I know it was a long one, but there's a lot more content coming up very soon, so make sure you smash that subscribe button 2019 style, and I'll see you in the next one.